يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Welcome to the Electric Mosque's presentation of the teachings of Islam. I'm your host, your brother, Hajji Dr. Roshan Khan, brought to you with the compliments of the Guyana Islamic Federation, Guyana ISFED, an organization for peace, education, and human development. Dearest beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, the Electric Mosque presentations of the teachings of Islam wishes to present through the Guyana Islamic Federation, a corporate entity registered in the country of Guyana, some very special wisdom which I hope will be finished in this session, or which will be finished in maybe another session as well, for it is very important and wise. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful parents. Parents are either your paradise or your hell. Listen well for those who abandon their parents. Listen well. Treat and address your parents with respect. Speak kindly and tenderly to them, keeping your gaze low without staring at them in the face. Live with them in humility, at times sacrificing your desires, and make yourself subservient to them, or humble yourself subservient lower than they are, regardless of their economic status or their age. Lower yourself to them. If they want to do anything, don't prevent them, and give preference to their wishes over the wife or husband. The parents, according to Islam, comes before the husband or the wife. In secular societies and nations, we are taught that the wife has to come before. However, I personally disagree with that. The mothers and the parents brought you into this world. There is no competition. You love your wife as a wife. You love your husband as a husband, but you love your parent as the one after God who brought you in the earth through the powers of God, placed in the sperm, the male and the female gametes, and the womb of mother. Keep praying, invoking for divine blessings and pardon for them. After their death, make dua, magfirat for them, and do isali tawab for them in abundance. So keep on praising them, making dua for their magnificence and their blessings, and make all the forgiveness dua for them. If your parents are unjust, it is not lawful for children to ill-treat them, disobey them in lawful things, or displease them. So if you feel your parents were not kind to you, you still owe them, we as children, to honor and dignify them, and not to displease them. Obey and assist them in all things, even if they happen to be non-Muslims. So if your parents are non-Muslims, and you became a Muslim, I became a Muslim, but treat them still with absolute love and kindness. Whenever you greet them with a smile and salam, and never raise your voice above theirs. Whenever you see them, greet them. Assalam, smile, but never raise your voice to humiliate, scare, and hurt them. I know of a daughter, a very close relative of mine, who would take the walking stick made of metal and beat her father, and even tear the hair apart of her mother, a very, very close relative, friends and family. If you are living with them, ask their permission before going anywhere, and always inform them of your whereabouts. Parents always worry. So it's an Islamic guide to tell them you're going out, not necessarily ask their permission, but tell them you're going out and you'll be back so and so time, and tell them where you're going. Parents always worry and wonder. If they have made any lawful wasiyat, a request, fulfill if you have the means to do so. So if they made a request, give them what they need. But if they pass away, see to it that their request is fulfilled. Beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, pay your debts. If they desire or demand anything, give it to them. Pay the debts of your parents. And if they desire or demand anything, give it to them. Of course, you have to use good reason that it is a sensible request. Be kind, respectful, and helpful to the friends of your parents, even after their death. All their friends, whom they had looked up to, be kind and cheerful and help and loving to them. Parents, your heaven or your hell. This is the other part. It would be correct to say that the youth of today show disrespect to their parents. Their attitudes have changed and they have adopted a renegade and parent enemy type thinking. I've seen this. I've seen grandchildren who fool the grandparents, steal their vehicles, steal their money, rob them of all their money, let them die in dignity, hide them away in hospital. Another close relative of mine, very, very close, and so that other relatives can't visit. All their mind was on how they could steal the people's property and money right there in Canada, in Scarborough, Ontario. Relatives of mine, ladies and gentlemen, shameless people, forgetting the laws of karmic reality. What you do will return to you. This type of mentality leads to physically beating the parents. As I said, I know a very close relative of mine would take the father's stick and beat him and hurt him and hurt his feelings, but she was his favorite from the day she was born. And it is said she used to pull the hair of the mother and technically harass and starve them. The food that I would send in boxes by special order would tell her father and the grandfather from the dishonest grandson that their son is sending poison boxes of food from Walmart or wherever you order it. And even though the son is outside, the man will refuse it, and the daughter and the grandson, would steal the $200-300 worth of foodstuff for them. What a shameful set of people is in this modern time and this modern generation. After Allah, our parents are the main cause for our existence. I mentioned that a bit earlier. Without them, in infancy, what would happen to us? Where would we be if our parents had not worried for us or taken care of us? Parents bear all sorts of hardship and sacrifice. They comfort for the sake of their children. They spare no expense or effort in providing the best for them. So why must we not reciprocate or give back or do back in this modern time and this modern generation? And not only Muslims, but all peoples. I know many Muslims. I know of a lady took care of her 6 children in Canada, running a store, a cloth store, in the Stabroek area, educate them, send them overseas, and then she went over, and then they start using her as a slave servant. Then she got sick, and she was entitled to pension. They put her in one of the cheapest old folks' home and left her there and never visits her. A Muslim brother of ours would visit her and even bought a little fridge for her so she can have some comfort and happiness. But the children will not do that, even though she sold the house she had in the country and give them the money. It sounds like the movie we had seen called Bajman. Those of you who have ever heard of an Indian movie or never heard of it called Bajman, you need to see it. You older folks and parents, to save some of your resources. It is for these reasons that the Holy Quran and the Hadith have placed duty to parents second to Allah. Allah Ta'ala says in Quran 17:23, take note, and thy Lord has ordered worship none save him, and do good unto parents. Quran 17:23. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, says, Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, and thy Lord has ordered worship none save him, and do good to your parents. That is a repetition. I go back now. Rasulullah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, Allah's pleasure lies in the pleasure of the parents, and his displeasure lies in the displeasure of the parents. So be kind to your parents. Whether you feel they did not give you what you wanted, and so you boycotted them. Kanz ul Ummah, according to that hadith, it's reported. There can be only one reason for the state of our youth, which is ignorance of parents' rights over children, and ignorance of their duties towards them, even the parents are non-Muslim. Let me read that again and pay attention. There can be only one reason for the state of our youth, which is ignorance of parents' rights over children. Parents' rights over children, and ignorance of their duty towards them, even if the parents are non-Muslim. So we have a serious duty to our parents, friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. You know the mighty Calypsonian Sparrow sang a song about your mother, and don't forget about her, and give her a little something so that she can live well. I can't remember the name of that song, but it is sometimes good to listen to songs, to my opinion. Even if they are non-Muslim. In the following lines, I hope to set out in simple terms from the Quran and the Hadith. This writer, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't write this. This was found online. I don't know who is the writer. And so sometimes they'll say, why you don't put the name of the writer? I don't know who is the writer. So I want to honor them and thank them, whoever put it out there. From the Quran and the Hadith, the rights parents have over children and what they can expect from them, as well as a few words about what rewards there are for those children who fulfill their duties in this world and in the Akhirah. So fulfilling your duties for everything, but also especially for parents. May Allah give us all the ability to respect, obey, and serve our parents. Ameen. So he did a good job, that writer there. Now, verses from the Quran. Some beautiful verses from the Quran. Let me give you 17:23, 2-1. Quran 4:36. Quran 29:8. And let me give you the quotes. And thy Lord has ordered. And thy Lord has ordered, worship not any one beside him, and do good unto parents. If one of them or both of them attain old age before thee, say not unto them, fee. That means show them an I-pass or a disrespectful word, nor chide them or correct them and insult them, and say unto them words of respect, and lower to them shoulders of humility and meekness, and say, my Lord, have mercy on them both, as they fostered me when I was little. Quran 17:23, 2-1. Quran 4:36. And Allah, and worship Allah, and associate not with Him, and do good unto parents. 4:36 Quran. And we have strictly directed man to live in goodness with his parents. And if they parents compel them to associate partners with me, then whereof thou have no knowledge, then do not obey them. Quran 29:8. I think that might be the Surah Al-Hujurat. If your parents tell you to worship anything other than Allah, then don't obey them. Obey them not, but do not be rude to them. He goes on to say, but be kindly to them in the Al-Hujurat, the apartments. 29:8. And we have enjoined on man to be dutiful and good to his parents. His mother bore him in weakness and hardship, and his weaning is in 2 years. Be thankful to me and to thy parents. Al-Hujurat, ladies and gentlemen, friend, family, the same follow-up onto the previous one, 29:8. Sayings of the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hazrat Abu Bakr narrates that the Holy Prophet said, Allah forgives all sins of those whom He pleases, except, this is Abu Bakr is narrating this from the Holy Prophet. Not Abu Bakr, he's narrating from the Holy Prophet. Allah forgives all sins of those whom He pleases, except disobedience to parents. The punishment, is swiftly meted out to him in this world prior to his death. So he has to suffer even on his dying bed, maybe in other ways as well. Especially I know of a grandson who stole the father's property, and when it manipulated and tricked them and registered it in a way, when the man realized what they were up to, the grandson and his father and his mother and the granddaughter, he was in depression, and when he'd talk or he'd do anything, they would beat him. I know that man very well. He's from Skeldon, Quarantine, Upper Quarantine, and was living in Scarborough, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you may know who I'm talking about. And I go on. So they have to pay. They think they will enjoy this treat, but they will have to pay. Hadrat Abu Ichma, radiyallahu anhu, reports that a good person inquired, O Prophet of Allah, what are the rights of parents over their children? He replied, then are your paradise and your hell. Hadrat Abdullah ibn Masud radiyallahu anhu says, I once asked Nabi, peace and blessings of Allah, the Prophet, which deed is most dear to Allah? Salah upon its prescribed time? He replied, that's the most important thing. I then inquired which deed follows up. He replied, obedience to parents after the prayer and worship of Allah. I finally asked, then which one? He replied. And Rasulullah replied, jihad in the path of Allah. Now, a lot of people misunderstand jihad means to fight with the sword. Jihad means to propagate, to spend your money, to teach, to educate. That's the most prominent and the right jihad. Beloved divine friends, family brothers and sisters, a hadith regarding the virtues and reward for one who is obedient and remains in the service of his parents. The service to parents results in increased earnings, and in longer life. Service to parents gets more earnings, more blessings, and even to live longer. A gaze of love and mercy cast at parents is the equivalent of an accepted Hajj. Show your mother and your father a good gaze, a good love, one of joy and one of peace. And it is as if you have done a whole Hajj. Jannah lies on the defeat of thy mother. Paradise lies on the defeat of thy mother. I've been saying this over and over in the book of poetry that I've written. Parents are either the Jannah or Jahannam of their children. The acts which lead to their pleasure lead them, the children, to Jannah, paradise, while displeasing them paves the way for Jahannam. So for the daughter, the son-in-law, and any children that were so bad to this woman and this mother that I'm talking about, and beating them and giving them pain and torture and torment, and their granddaughter and their grandson, causing them to die in a state of shame, degradation, and poverty, and locking them away from seeing other members of the family, they will have to face the consequence. The parents' service to them or grandparents will either lead to Jannah or Jahannam, hell or paradise or hell. The mother's dua for her children is executed with swiftness. When a mother makes a prayer for a child, it is executed with swiftness. My mother, Hajji Latifan Khan, who lived in Toronto, Scarborough, Ontario, always made dua for me. And I always get prosperity and success. And she spoke to Allah and warned him even when she died. She warned, because a mother carries out the prescription of Allah to create humanity. And she told Allah, when mother speaks, God listens in one of my poetry, that Allah continue to watch me even after she is gone, because she was like a hawk protecting and guarding me, like an eagle, like a condor, my beloved divine friends and family. Kindness to parents secures forgiveness of sins. A hadith regarding one who is disobedient. One who is disobedient to his parents will not enter Jannah. The doors of Jahannam are open for the one who disobeys his parents. I know a son of the same parents I'm talking about stole anything and everything from them, put them into trouble, borrowed their car, made thousands of dollars in debts, commit crime, put people to pell them, and then say he owed them, and then the father would go and take out money to go pay for the criminalized son. This is all coming, ladies and gentlemen, from one family. Imagine what is happening otherwise. Among the major sins, the worst to commit is shirk with Allah Ta'ala. Shirk is giving a partner to Allah. Once the worst thing to say Allah has a wife, or he has a child, like a biological child, to say that he mated with a woman and make a child, or that he has a wife. It is totally ridiculous, annoying, and unacceptable in the religion of Islam. That is the worst sin. This is followed by the sin of disobedience to parents. Even the utterance of a harsh word or a word of disrespect is a major sin. Neither the fard, so if you speak loud to your parents, it's a disgrace. Neither the fard nor the nafil ibadat, worship, the compulsory and the voluntary worship, is accepted of a person who is disobedient to his parents or her parents. I know a daughter who did all these kind of evil things, but somehow or the other fools herself. She did good and is praying and expecting paradise. I know that. But everything is in the hands of Allah. He decides. Sometimes a person might do all evil but one good and he goes to paradise. Sometimes a person might do all good but the one evil and goes to hell. It's all in the mercies of Subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the worlds. Allah curses the one who displeases his parents. Gabriel, that's angel Jibrail. Cursed offspring who displease their parents in their old age. That's the angel. Cursed the offspring who show disrespect and hurt their parents in their old age. The one who trouble his parents will be punished here on earth, in addition to the punishment in the Akhirah. So they will all have to face, whether the one sister took the car, and then they found large sums of money that the man was saving and took it all, whether they manipulate the house and they took it and they're renting it and pocketed it in, they will all have to pay. They will all have to face the consequences. I don't know. I have a relative who did very similar things of stealing the property even though they didn't put a cent into the property. And I smile when I know what they were doing, for I know, inshallah, they will have to face the consequences in this world and the hereafter. The pleasure of the parents is the pleasure of Allah, and the displeasure of the parents is the displeasure of Allah. So the parents are happy, the mother is happy, the father is happy, Allah is happy. And the displeasure of the parents, if they are unhappy, then Allah is unhappy. Beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, see, my respected readers, that's the writer. I don't have the name of the writer. I would have liked to give credit to the writer, but he didn't put his name. He's done a beautiful job here, and I'm spreading his knowledge, his wisdom, his points that he's put together from Quran and Allah. So I'm sending it out there to you, so he will get his reward. Oh Allah, bless this writer for the wonderful job he has done here. See, my respected readers, the merits of obedience to parents and the vices of disrespect to them. Obedience to them, the merits, the rewards then, and the vices, the evil, the wrongs of disrespect to them that you will have to face. The parents should be treated with care and should be respected. One who disobeys the parents earns the wrath of Allah. The parents who have done so much for us from childhood to youth, they do not deserve this, that we should treat them harshly, go as far as beat them. May Allah save us from this. Just remember what has been told previously earlier. So I know a daughter who the father loved took a metal stick in his state of old age and some mental issue would beat her father with an iron rod. And the grandson would beat the grandfather when he wanted to transfer the property from them to another one. And the granddaughter would do the same thing. Friends and family, brothers and sisters. All I'm telling you about is about people that I know, relatives of mine that have brought great shame and will have to face the consequences. Dearest beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, this piece here, I'm going to put it on and attach it, edit it into the end of this presentation of the Electric Mosque Teachings of Islam, brought to you by the Guyana Islamic Federation. Now, I realized where we got it from. This came from Rafiq's Islamic Dawah movement. Now, he has passed away and is with Allah, but he was always a good boy, a good youth. And he was really dedicated to the Queenstown Jama Masjid and was at the end living in the Gafour's compound. And he had his own bit of publishing, published by Rafiq's Islamic Dawah movement, Gafour's compound. And I'm so happy that I found it and was able to print those pages. Now, he did not do the research, but he was always able to get very useful, notable thoughts and ideas and Quranic lectures and put it in paper. And some of us would give him some help to help him with the paper and the print. May Allah reward him and his word, his action of the word of Allah and the Rasul is going around the world through me here and maybe many others. So may Allah reward Brother Rafiq, and may he be gifted with Jannatul Firdaus. Let us continue to love our parents, show dignity and respect to them, and may Allah reward one and all, and share this message on YouTube, on the Facebook, and on this, the Electric Mosque's presentation of the teachings of Islam. And I am your friend, your brother, Hajji, Dr. Roshan Khan, saying thank you and farewell, friends. La ilaha illallah. I touch you, brothers and sisters. I touch your water who are holding that water. I touch your soul and your heart with love of Allah. I bless you with whatever blessing Allah gives me to pass on. through His mercies, through His Prophet Muhammad, and all the goodness. I bless my mother, Hajji Latifan Khan, that Allah will give her the highest of heavens and that she rests with the Rasul Muhammad. I bless our Rasul, that who is our teacher, our master, our chief imam. I bless the husband of my mother, Hajji Latifan Khan, and that she will rest with her son Irshad Khan and her mother and father that she requested to be with and all that she loved. Bless and ease, O Allah, all those who are in the grave, who are feeling pain and torment and torture. Ease them, open up their graves, give them peace, especially my mother, Hajji Latifan Khan. La ilaha illallah. I touch each and every one of you. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Wallahu Akbar. Walillahil hamd. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ilaha illallah.
يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار